Anyway, where were we? We were on step 1. Right here. And I've already done this step here. That's like, hey, do these things. You know, these 3 pieces are put together. Okay, there, we got part of one S-foil. Hooray. We need parts from sprue E now. Hopefully you can all still hear me with all the stuff I had to move around. We need E4 and E12. What do we got here? E4. E4. And 12. 12, 12, 12, where are you? 12, right here. Okay, and then, so what happens sometimes with Bandai? Well, not sometimes, the way they're made. The injection piece is actually stepped out, so you actually do 2 cuts to get this functional. Okay, and there's that. These areas aren't too bad. This will need a little bit of work. Okay, so when we look at this side, let's take a look at, oh, there we go. So we got matching, we got those little guys there that match that, okay? So that is in. I really do like these. And need to take a little bit off there that I left on before. So yeah, I really do like these Bandai kits for this part of assembly. Now, I actually, Mario from All Scale Trek reached out to my post, and he's like, oh, you know, I prefer the NPCs over the, over the Bandais, because these are like puzzles, you know, everything's pre-colored and whatnot. But just because these are essentially pre-detailed doesn't mean you have to go with that. Now, in this case, I am, because this is meant to be a fast, engaging build. I think this guy goes here, like so. Okay. So this is different from this one, simply in the fact that this is all one color. So there's additional pieces to this. So the additional engineering, so they really had to take this and re-engineer it to do this. D for part 3. And you are right here. Alright, so for any modelers watching who are kind of new to the game, highly recommend these flush cutting snippers. They make life a whole lot easier when you're trying to take stuff off sprues or trees or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so where were we? We're this way. So this guy is going to go in. Now sometimes I have trouble figuring out the what and the who based on the drawing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep. There is a small peg there and a larger peg there that match these two. And there we go. Now we can move on to the next page of step 1. Alright, so we're going to take another A13 from here. Okay, and then a B6. which is another sprue. B6 right here. Not getting that satisfying snap like we usually do. Let's be soft plastic. Okay. So we're like this. We've already assembled these pieces. So we're on to the underside of one of the S-foils. Get that lined up properly. So, here's the thing. This is a no-glue model. This is a snap-fit model. But here's what I like about it. If most people watching are from North America, as I assume is the case, when you think of snap-together, you think of North American builders and their snap-together models, which are have generally been garbage. Things don't fit, the pegs are too long. No, this no-glue model. All the pieces fit together, nice and snug, nice and gentle. You know, you've got this guy, it's got these little bars here, and then receivers on this side. And just slide that in. Just like that. Perfect fit. And that's what's so impressive about these. So that gives us this step here. And it gives you, one of the things I like, it gives you a little area to check. Like, you've done all this, then look it over to make sure you've got this. So there we go. There's part of it. Now we're going to move on to all these little details here that'll kind of make the whole thing, come together. So first we're going to need C. Do we have C? E, B, C is silver, I believe. Yes, it is. Now, once again, just because this is all pre-detailed doesn't mean you can't prime it and paint it, if you chose to. Okay, so we need C18, C19. Okay, C18. C19. '21 and 20 and 21, which is just mirrors of those. And 21. There we go. And I'm going to grab this and just give any areas that need it. So this is 18. We're looking at this way. This guy is going to go. Yep. Try over here. Come on, you. There we are. Another good fit. Give that some sanding. Or filing, just to get rid of any raised bits. Gonna go in there. The impressive thing is the amount of detail on something this small, this little 1/72 scale. It is pretty awesome. Sorry, I want to check one thing. Make sure I'm not talking to the back of that. Yep. There we go. Because injection molding does have its limits, but you end up with some really great detail because of the variety of parts. All these sprues aren't just for show. This is how you get the detail, is by not trying to mold everything into giant sheets of plastic, but multiple excuse me, small attachment pieces. Alright, I think we got that one. Did I put that in the right one? That might actually go here. I flipped it over, so kind of lost track of what part I'm working on. There we go. Give that a little push. And take off more attachment point garbage that might be in the way. Okay, so we're getting some detail there. And then we're into both of these sprues. We want D16 and 17, which are over here. And this time we'll cut this first, this barely attached point. So, as I said, you could potentially light these, but when you see how small the actual engine exhaust is, it might be challenging because I don't know if there's a way to open. Well, I mean, without, you could use photo etch, and I'm going to see that when I talk to Eric. Because that would allow you to open these engine nozzles up and get a light in there. Because you could get an 040, you could probably even get an 0805 SMD in there. Anyway, let's go ahead and put these engines in. Then trim the nozzles and install those. Did I read that wrong? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I took the wrong one. Got ahead of myself. I'll save that guy for later. I wasn't paying enough attention and pulled the wrong part, but the little alignment tabs here matter. Maybe I was right. Well, forget everything I said. I was right. Just the way they were designed kind of threw me off a little bit. Okay. And I think I missed a step. That. There we go. That's why I had it upside down. So I want 15 left, 15 right. Okay, it's the same. 15, 15, 15, 15. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to scrape a little bit off here. Just where we need to. Looks like they're pretty good at getting these lined up, the injection marks, in such a way that they don't have a severe impact on the scribed lines for the exhaust nozzle. That guy goes there. There's one. And two. Okay. There we go. We're getting one together. Yeah, look at this level of detail that they're able to get out of this plastic at this small a scale. Alright, so you're out, you're out. We're going to do two things. E11 and B23. What do we got here? E11. And B23. Right here. Okay. So we look at it this way. Make sure we have our alignment correct. This guy's going to go down here on the underside. And we get any raised material off that we don't need. There we go. And here's one thing I really like. When you look at this, the way it's made, where the press fit areas are designed such a way they are essentially integrated into the panel etching. So that's smart. Very smart. Oh, hey, Sean and Brian, welcome back. This weekend has been a video disaster. The B-Wing, as I said before, would not upload with sound. It would have sound on, QuickTime player. No sound on VLC. None at all. Because I have two audio tracks. I have the voice track and the music track. I'd upload to YouTube. The music track would be there, but no voice track. It didn't make any sense. So essentially, I eventually end up re-rendering it. Unfortunately, with not the best audio track, it's too loud. But after spending an entire morning messing with it, it was get it up or give up. So that's how we end up there. And then, as I said, I made changes to this to get more real estate to show off more of the build, and I tested it last night and everything worked. And then today it's like, nope. So thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. There we go. Yeah. And we still need a C6. And that's going to be a silver part. And that's going to be a little guy. This little guy right here. You know what? Let's just play it safe. Shall we? Okay, well, I mean, I think the voice... Thank you, Sean. Sorry. Sorry, let me do this in order. I apologize. PJC, yes, I'm going to weather it. The goal was today to do the basic build, because this should, even though it's a lot of parts, this should go very, very quickly. And Sean, yeah, what am I trying to say? I put on, the rendering... I had to do a quick render to get audio to work, so I lost some audio control in the B-Wing video. The normalization that keeps it from clipping, you know, those highs and lows, so I kind of lost that, but once again, at that point, is better done than perfect. So, here we go. Get this guy in there. Look at that. I'm going to get this as close as I can. Luckily, this wide-angle camera does stay in focus very good. I'm only about 2 inches from the lens. You can see the detail. And this is a molded part, not a 3D printed part. This is why I like using the iPhone as one of my cameras, because I have a lot more control. Oh, thanks, Brian. You watched it this morning. Does that mean you didn't watch the advanced copy I sent you out of the kindness of my heart? And you didn't even watch it? I'm teasing. Anyway, so yeah, so the B-Wing was a bit of a nightmare, and I think that all that 3 uploads just like this kind of screwed the pooch for it. So we'll see how well it does. Yeah, Sean, I absolutely would recommend these Bandai kits. They are really, really good, really fun. And, I mean, if you want large scale, they're not for you. But for people with limited space, everything, with most of these in the 172 range, my God, a Billy bookcase would hold the whole collection. Okay, let's move on. Oh, look at that. Where are the color pages? Oh, what am I trying to say? Brian, you're down in Boston. Things a bit more stable now. I don't know all the details. I just know that there was some stuff going on. Are y'all safe and sound? Okay. Now we're going to do the underside of this one. So you want an E7, a C, E7, B24, and a C6. So we're going to get this guy again, this little tiny piece here. There's one. And we want E. Just a second here, there's B. This is E7. Which is right here. And then from sprue B, number 24, and that's going to be the other, not gun barrel, but gun body, I guess. Whoops. Come here, you. Alright, well, stay safe out there, my man. Anyone if there's any other modelers, feel free to engage with Brian. I'm part of a group chat of modelers. Did you invite me in, Brian, or was the other one of the other guys? I can't remember. I am terrible at remembering not just who I've met, but how I've met them. Anyway, so there's a small group of us that kind of chatted up and just kind of keep each other in the loop on the projects and offer advice as needed and whatnot. And much like Otaka Builder, who too bad it wasn't able to come back, but I suspect he just ducked in to say hello and then the stream took a crap. These guys are much faster than I am. Much faster than I am. I'm a bit of a slow builder, but I'm also doing a lot more. I do a lot of long form content, so that kind of determines my workflow, because I've got to plan it out. And that was what was great doing reels back when TikTok didn't suck, because you could do a build and knock a reel out in like an hour, whereas it takes me most of a month to do a long form video. Yeah, I'm same with you. The 72 is good for matching up with if you kind of use the Falcon as the center of your collection. Okay, let's get this in here. There's that guy, and then this. This goes here. So we have the forward part of the guns. And then this little guy. Same thing. So, I'm doing a bit of a project. Do I have it handy? No, I don't. Okay, but I'm going to grab this B-Wing for a second. So, just a little aside. Here's my B-Wing that just went up yesterday. I did Luke's X-Wing, I did this B-Wing, I've got the A-Wing, and I found on eBay an old NPC A-Wing and a Y-Wing. And I've got Boba Fett's, Starfighter, etc. So I got all these NPC kits. And I'm going to build all these NPC kits, followed by the Bandai kits. Because one of the things that keeps happening in my comments section that's very irritating is it's not Bandai. Oh my god, Eric, I'll tell you all about it on Wednesday, but this has been this weekend has been an absolute video tech nightmare. Anyway, come back to what I was saying. So I got all these NPC kits, and I got the AMT kits. I think I've got them all. Or the Bandai kits, pardon me. So I'm going to build the MPC models. I'm going to build the Bandai models. Okay, let me say that again. I'm going to build the NPC kits, then I'm going to build the Bandai kits. Because it's so often, it's not Bandai. Well, of course it's not. You can't compare North American kits to this. Some of the new ones you can. I will say that. This is back from 2012, the TOS 350 scale Enterprise. It is functionally a snap fit kit, excuse me. And it goes together, except there's a couple big seams, but you kind of can't help that with the nature of what it is. Because everything's, cylinders and saucers and whatnot. But by and large, effort was taken to hide as many seams as possible. That's why I'm impressed with the new TIE Fighter, the big 32 scale one that I did a few months ago. because with few exceptions, all the seams are hidden. And this is an example of how you do that. Like, here, yeah, there's a seam around here. But at the same time, when you're building, you don't have to eliminate all seams. Things are put together. Things are mechanically put together. There's going to be seams and seam lines and whatnot. But when you take the time to hide your mounting points within the details of the model, it is absolutely possible to get this much quality. But North American manufacturers, and I'm going to say this without getting too political, capitalism is too strong in North America, and they will always take the cheap route out and leave us as builders doing the extra work. There's a reason these Bandai kits are a higher quality. It's not like they're not trying to make money, but the directive may not be as strong. Oh yeah, Brian. I've been watching. Is it Dan's build? And I have two. I've actually got three Discovery. I got two Discovery Enterprise and a Strange New Worlds Enterprise. I haven't really gone into building them. I do know that a lot of the seams have the steps. So, a lot of them are hidden. But even what you're saying... Now, did you build one as well? Because Dan's building his... Did you build one? But I wouldn't have expected an issue on a model that new. Even from a North American manufacturer. So that is disappointing. And there may be a reason that Round 2 hasn't called me back to do more builds for them after I did the TIE Fighter, I did Luke's X-Wing, and I did the shuttle for them. Those ads are out there with someone else's voice, or, AI voice. They took mine out. Look, I like Round 2. I like the fact that a lot of this stuff exists because of them. But they are a 90% company. They'll go 90% of the way there, and then there'll be a big gap, and it's fine. Or something doesn't fit right, doesn't line right. Anyway, got a little off topic here. Anyway, I'll be doing direct comparison from model to model. The MPC X-Wing, the Bandai X-Wing. The MPC Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, the Bandai TIE Fighter. We're going to look at these objectively together. Okay, what do you say we move on? I stop talking and not building. Question for y'all. Now that I got the tech worked out, how's the new real estate working for you? I was trying to get more space on this camera and tighten up the overhead camera to get as much view as possible of what I'm doing. Because I don't think my face is that important to have in here. Y'all can see me in my long form videos. Okay, so we're essentially doing the same thing again. So here's one S-foil completed. So I'll set that guy aside. Then we have D14, which we have here. Gonna grab ourselves. This is B. We don't want B, we want E. E1, which is gonna be this other wing. I should really give Brian a really, really big thanks for showing up, because I am really not great at showing up for other people's live streams, because I guess I'm kind of awful. True, there's a lot of times it's timing, but I also get into things, like if I get into sanding or... well, sanding's a bad example. I hate sanding, but scribing, something that needs a bit more attention. I tend to tune out. Like, I miss a lot of the Hobby Link International, my friend Kenny Conklin's live streams. Yeah, yeah, I also don't go to my... my wife streams, who's also moderating this. So I guess I'm a big old turd, aren't I? I don't support it. You guys, y'all come to my streams, and I'm not going to support you guys at all. And that's just how it is. The truth is, I just get really into what I'm doing and kind of forget about everything else. I'm working on it. That's right, Sean. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? I forget about everyone equally. But to be fair, I do want to say this, to be fair, I do edit my wife's streams. So I'm just really bad at showing up when they're on. Okay, so we have this in this direction. This guy goes here. Oops. We forgot a little bit. There's that. And yes, equal opportunity neglect. I actually literally thought about the Hobby Link International Kenny's stream last night at about 11 o'clock. Like, oh, missed that one again. Oopsie. Okay, now we got this side, so we're going to flip. Did I do that upside down? No, I don't think so. Yeah, okay, so on E14. Which is right here. So this is one of the nice things with the Bandais is you can really knock these out fast. Now, if you're doing additional detailing beyond a straight assembly, the part of the reason I'm doing this without extra stuff is because I am sorry, give me a second there. So I want to move that over. The sole purpose of this is to build it and be able to talk and engage while I'm doing it. Because like I said, the Cutaway Falcon's a great model, but I think it's going to be better as a long-form video. Because there's so many steps, there's so much lighting I'm putting in it, and just trying to run a commentary while feeding fiber optic strands is probably not going to work out so well. Like, I've got a dozen or more lights in there already. And shifting my focus, D11, and adding a running commentary to what I'm doing was proving difficult. And then 3 or 4 streams of the exact same thing kind of I think might have been wearing on people. E5. So this way I can build, and it's not so it's not taking all my brain bandwidth, so I can look up and check out who's here, who's talking, so I can actually answer questions. And just trying to find, okay, how do I make this mine? How am I different from other builders? Why should you come to this stream instead of someone else's stream? And, just trying to figure it all out. And yeah, okay, hold on, I'm going to do this again. Did this go here? Yes, it did. Okay. Once again, I have trouble kind of flipping the drawing in my head, so it sometimes takes a couple of tries to get the alignment right. There we go. But yeah, this is good re-engineering of the existing kit. And the best part is they can just make a new mold of this and keep reproducing the old one, reproducing the new one, etc. Okay, looks like this guy's got some other pieces too. Did I miss anything on this one? No, it doesn't look like. Oh, let me just take a little sit up and stretch my back. Okay. So we're going to get the other exhaust, the other panel, and then B22. Or not exhaust, excuse me, intake. Potentially intake. And then E14, which is, that's B. Oh, I looked at the wrong part. It is B5. And then we want B22. B22 right here. So I suspect some of the details differentiate the upper and lower S-foils when doing the actual installation. Alright, how are you looking? This one's pretty clean. You did pretty good getting that off the sprue. Alright. There's that. Oop. Whoops. Okay, there's that, there's that. And then you go. Let's make sure we get all the, just all the junk off there. There we go. A little bit of detail there. So done, done, done. And now we're back to these parts. C16, 17. 16, 17. 22 and 23. So just for fun, I made what I call an well, I mean, I guess it is an ASMR video of the NX01 unboxing. So that crinkly Bandai plastic. And it did pretty well. Pretty well on Instagram. And it really seemed to crap the bed on, excuse me, on YouTube Shorts. But it looks like it's just a slow horse. Because last I looked, last I actually paid attention, it was like 137 views. And I looked today, it was like at 500 views. Okay, well, maybe it's catching on. Now, my shorts on YouTube don't do particularly well. I haven't quite cracked that nut yet. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong there that it's just not catching on. I should probably reverse these. It looks like. Yeah, that's a better fit. There we go. And there's those pieces in. Oh yeah, I've pretty much given up on TikTok. My views tanked. They were doing well, then they stopped doing well. And if I make a reel, I will put it on TikTok just as a matter of habit. But I have no expectations for TikTok anymore. I mean, you being in the U.S., you could at least get paid on TikTok. In Canada, I cannot. But part of the reason I shifted my focus back to YouTube was searchability and content lifespan. So there is a search function in TikTok. But generally speaking, your videos, for the most part, will have a lifespan. They'll do really well, and then they'll either quickly die or slowly die and just live in the background unless you pump them back up. Whereas YouTube, the searchability means that an old video could catch on months or years later. I have one that did nothing for like 2 years, then out of the blue, just suddenly caught on. Now, not huge numbers, a few thousand. Nothing has come close to the TIE Fighter video. But yeah. With YouTube searchability, it's a yeah, no, I use a lot of hashtags too. When doing TikTok, like I said, it worked well for a long time until it didn't work anymore. But that's the problem, was when they changed the algorithm. That's the problem with all these platforms, is you can be chugging along doing something right, and then they change something, and they don't tell you what, and your whole strategy is out the window, and then you're just throwing things at the wall, hoping something will catch. And I was like, I'm not playing that game with you guys, especially, once again, on a platform that, doesn't pay content creators in Canada. So why would I put my effort in there? And look, what I mean is the goal isn't just to get paid, but also to reach people. So when your videos stop reaching people, you only put out that effort so long before you're like, well, this is BS. It's like I talk to my filmmaking friends. Who are like, oh, these people just do it for fun. I'm like, no, they don't. Well, what do you mean? I'm like, no one does visual art with the intention of not being seen. So, if we can't reach people, then what's the point? I mean, look, if you enjoy doing it, because yes, there's a segment who enjoys doing it for the sake of doing it, but by and large, the whole point is to meet people and engage with other modelers and connect and network and all those wonderful things. And when a platform makes a change that stops you from doing that, well, then it's time to move platforms. Because you guys make money regardless of whether I reach a lot of people. And that's when it starts to look a whole lot like an MLM. And that's when you pack your bags and you get the frack out. Okay, we'll need some more 6s with this, because these are going on. And yeah, we'll have a complete S-foil assembly here in just a little bit. I said these things really are great. Now Mario, when I was talking to him, had said that they don't take oil washes that well. Maybe it's something with the plastic. Now, I don't do anything in oil. For cleanup reasons and odor reasons. So when I finally found Vallejo has a series of washes, I started picking these up. So now my entire workflow can be in acrylic, which really, really appeals to me. Here we go. We get these other two gun bodies here, or blaster bodies. So obviously I run this stream a little bit long to make up for the cluster of the the first two attempts. Now I don't expect everyone to stay, but I appreciate anyone who came by to duck in and say hello and see what's what. Yeah, this isn't for everyone. There's going to be people like, oh, I don't want to watch someone build a snap-together model. And that's fine. It's not for everyone. But also depends on what your ultimate goal is. I don't have any specific plans right now, but I have dioramas in mind in the future. And I think with these little 72 scale models, we'd have a nice little dogfight, especially with those Edison filament LEDs. I think Boyle Model Time has used them a number of times in their dioramas. Alright, we get these guys cleaned up a little bit. But like I said, same thing. These are kind of designed with the modeler in mind. And I think that's the other reason why they not just go together so well, but you're able to... Oh, crap, I didn't mean to do that. I did the wrong step. You know what? I would be down with a AT diorama as well. They're, there's a lot of Star Wars subjects that didn't kind of speak to me until recently. And there's a lot of potential for creating some really cool stuff. Now, one of the things I'm thinking about doing, especially now that I have a whole bunch of channel members, I don't have a lot of space. And honestly, after I build a model, it tends to live on a shelf, and sometimes there's certain ones to keep, like my Premier Edition 350 refit, not refit, TOS Enterprise. I was part of the 1701 club. I got a T-shirt and a little card of author. This was number 1256 of 1701 or whatnot. The first 1700 models released by Round 2. That one's kind of special to me, so that's always going to be part of my collection. But by and large, I make them and then I kind of put them on. I rarely ever turn the lights on. So I'm thinking there are some exceptions, because I want to start as I build a store of hobby supplies like lighting and 3D print parts. I would like to start going to shows, so I need to keep a number as part of my collection for that. But I'm thinking I may just start raffling every month to the channel members. Okay, put your name in the pot, and this is what model I'm shipping out the door. Basically, you pay shipping, and it's yours. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. Because I think that other people might get more joy out of them than I do. Because really it's the building, and once I have the pictures to show off what I've done and learning new skills and techniques, I'm kind of on to the next thing. And I really want to work toward motion control. Because I've always been fascinated with these models since I was little, and I'm 46, starting to run out of time. Anyway, that's kind of neither here nor there. We've got that, and there should be another insert. Anyway, these are things I would like to work on, and I think that other people may get more joy out of my finished builds than I do. Like the K7 space station with the all the accessories, I did that as part of a collaboration with Jerry at HJ Model Works, and it looks nice. It's up there. But my interest was in the build, not having the finished model. Although it would be good for shows. Anyway, that's just one example. I guess I'm kind of rambling now as I kind of figure out what's next. Oops. So I get these off of here. And let me get caught up here. Haha. Okay. Let me do this kind of back to back. Okay, so Brian, yeah, the Valeos. Valeos are great. Jerry convinced me to look into these AK third generations, which are very good. But I suck at mixing paint. Now, you can get... These are so pigment rich, you thin them out, you're going to get this... One bottle's going to last you forever. But I'm a lazy laser model. Laser model? Lazy modeler. And I like just being able to shake it and put it in the airbrush. And these are smooth. This was the color I used for the Galileo shuttlecraft for the upper part of the body. I didn't clear coat it before putting the decals on. That's how smooth this went on. So, got nothing but good things to say with these. Yep, Sean. They are a perfect size for dioramas because you could make one. This thing is 23 inches. You could very much make a. And that would be on the big side. You could do a trench run in kind of even just the footprint of one of these. Okay. 132 X-Wing, that would be nice if they made something to match the TIE Fighter. But I picked up. Don't know if you all remember when Force Awakens came out. Revell did a whole bunch of Star Wars kits. And one of them was a 29 scale X-Wing, Luke's X-Wing. It's pre-detailed, so it's lacking. So it needs whole new refinishing. But I got a hold of one. I actually got a hold of two. But the first one is a whole issue with Intelcom. But I ordered a second one. So it's 29 scale, so it's really close enough in scale to match that TIE Fighter. So if you look up Revell 129 X-Wing, you should be able to get a hold of one because there's still plenty out there. It's not a perfect choice, but it's a pretty good choice when faced with having nothing else. Because the next largest is the 48 scale, I think. By Fine Molds has a 48 scale. AMT did an X-Wing with movable, like motorized movable wing. But I still think that was 156 scale. It's a really weird scale. Anyway. So those are some of the things that are out there. You go here. Right. And then you go here. Yes. Yes, that's the way it goes, right? Yep, okay. And then the rear. We got these little guys. But it almost been, come back to what you said about 32 X-Wing to go with that TIE Fighter. I mean, the studio scale ILM used was 124 scale. Like, they determined their own scales, obviously, based on their projected size of things. But AMT, I mean, Polaroid's AMT? Who did that? Anyway, whatever. They probably could have went to 124 scale very easily. But that 132 is still a very, very, excuse me, Very nice size. After the Sear Prize, the Cerritos, I'll be coming back to... Okay, yeah. I've got 2 Cerritos. One of the quark boxes. So that one's just... That one literally just for collecting. And then a regular one. Because I had Bill at Hobby Center order me one of each. Had less to do with needing them, and more to do with just if I want my hobby shop to be there when I need paint and whatnot. I gotta support them. That is not right. That's right. There we go. And then there's a couple little pieces. There we go. That lock that in. So we need C12 and C13. Oh, yeah. Oh, Brian, go to their website. Go to the Auto World website. Last I looked, now this was a few weeks ago, they still had some of the Quark ones available. Like, they only did a run of 500, so that should have sold out, but it looks like it didn't. So take a look. And yeah, Sean, you're right about studio scale. The 143 scale MPC one, they actually used that in Return of the Jedi. Like, it was a fast and cheap way to build X-Wings for either pyro or just faraway shots versus the hero ones. So yeah, what is studio scale? Well, the MPC 143 X-Wing is studio scale. I need 12 and 13. And 13. Okay. So 12, let's take off any sprue excess. That came off pretty clean. There's that. And this. Oh yeah, I believe you're right with the AT-ATs, because they would have had to do, they made their little miniature set, but if you did you watch the ILM documentary on Disney? Yeah, I believe they used different sizes for force perspective. So yeah, good catch. Okay. Closer ones are together up top. And there's a completed S-foil. Now it's 3 o'clock. Do I keep going after this not perfect stream day? Oh my god, though, Brian, those battleships are going to take you forever. Or not. Or not. I kind of eliminate anything that's not science fiction from my, or pop culture. Like, there's some cars, like the Supernatural car, Christine, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Knight Rider, Airwolf, things like that, that they're really, well, with the exception of sci-fi and Supernatural, they're sci-fi. But pop culture fits, because those will be good for dioramas in the future, too. Now, if only I had unlimited time, it would be easier to get everything done. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. Excuse me. Still a lot of steps. You know what? I'm going to call it there. And so that next week it'll be the cockpit and main body. Yeah. That'll be great. So I can do this in three live streams. S-foil, main body next week, and then the week after that, all the weather decals and weathering. And Then it will join its brothers and sisters. And yeah, look at that. Yeah, man, they did such a good job re-engineering this for the colored plastic. And yeah, these will probably end up as part of a diorama. I don't know how yet. I'm just keeping the models as I figure it out. Because like I said, I got that whole other stash of 72 scale things. Well, hey guys, thanks for coming back 3 times. This is a bit of a absolute nightmare. There's not much to say. I do think from a workflow and ability to communicate standpoint, this was the right decision to make. Because it didn't take as much of my attention as doing lighting and wiring. So I was able to engage more. Which is, excuse me, sorry. The whole point of these streams is to, let's have fun and build, and let's just connect. And chat and whatnot. So, thank you, everyone, for showing up. And I'm going to go to this little splash screen that my wife found for me. And we will call it. So thank you. And like I always say at the end of my long form videos, no, keep on building. Because every kid's a chance to improve your skill set and just enjoy the process. Take care, y'all.